Hello beautiful family, so here we go with the promised update on what is currently going on with the divine plan and the stage that the stage that we are in right now. You are noticing the energies are getting more and more and more and more intense, and this last week you've probably been through some very powerful what do you call that, activations, upgrades that have hit, the collective of humanity. And this stage that we are on right now, it is called the Hourglass stage. Okay, so even if you don't understand all that I'm saying in regards to those things, it is of course coded in your soul, because your soul knows exactly what stage we are on. So this is the Hourglass stage, and it basically kind of started on the, well, I'm gonna say the 2nd of July, although it kind of goes back to the 18th of June, when we had this very weird Schumann resonance graph, the triple spiral, which was, you can say, a confirmation for this certain stage that we have started. So the day before that, on the 17th, the Galactic Federation and MotherFather of Creation, they came through with a very important message. It's, they will come through in different ways, with different kind of energy, with different kind of intensity, things like that. So the way that came through was like, this is gonna be something very important. And they gave the message at that particular moment that we are about to enter a very intense period, a very big push up as far as the whole Earth's ship. And this energy that started on the 18th of June was only a preparation for that. So after the 18th, we went through a very deep period of purge, of clearing. You might have read some channelings that basically talk about the divine intervention going on, because there have been clearing lots and lots of energies that were on the way of this. And this goes as far as the political systems, economical systems, as far as also everyone's personal path, because everyone holds those certain energies in them that you are contracted to heal. So since the 18th and about till the 2nd of July, we went through this purification, and now those very deep and very powerful upgrades are coming in, of course, in relation to your personal path, in relation to the lessons that you are passing or not passing. Okay, because Earth is a mystery school, so you have to pass all those exams, so to say. And in relation to the Hourglass, there is also, I call this a bell ringing state. Okay, there is a certain bell, a certain call that went off collectively in a very deep way. Okay, so I'm gonna explain all of that, okay, and the follow-up of this vision about the crystal mountain and your ascension path. So okay, let's go into the Hourglass stage. Okay, the way you can imagine how the energies are right now is, imagine a hourglass, and we are in the bottom bulb of the hourglass, and are gonna shoot up through this gateway. Basically, the portals, all the portals have been closed. Okay, there's, it's gateways that we are in. So if you feel the energies, there's moments where the collective energy, like the way that the energy is being pushed, kind of feels like it's coming to a central point, like maybe like from spread out. Okay, it's coming together to a central point, and this is this gateway that we are going through, or you can see it as this like straight part of the hourglass. And then you have other moments where it kind of feels like, you know, if you imagine like some sand being in the hourglass and you kind of like spin the hourglass around the way that the sand starts to move, and you know it's gonna go one direction and the other direction depending on how you're shaking it. This is how the energies are right now. They are supposed to shake everything, but inside this bulb you can like really feel it. It's not like scattered around. It really feels like it's kind of in a bulb. Okay, so we are pushing up through this gateway, and this is what the galactics were referring to when they came with the message on the 18th, saying that, you know, we're gonna go through a very powerful rise up, shoot up, whatever, and that, you know, people have to be ready for it, because all this clearing period that we have been through from the 18th of June to the 2nd of July was only a preparation for this push up, because simply, you know, even light workers were not ready for it. So the energies that we are in right now are like the very beginning of this push. Okay, when it gets like through the push through, one is it's gonna kind of feel like a vacuum, so it's kind of gonna feel like, right, like it's vacuuming you through that gateway. And yeah, as said, those energies that even like with the intensity that is going on right now, it's like the very beginning stages of it, so it's gonna get more intense. So guys, work on, you know, integrating things as fast as you can, as soon as you can. Guys, if you're spending hours and hours grounding, you are not doing it right. You're not supposed to be laying on the grass for hours because you're unable to integrate those energies. Okay, so that's why you have to use certain tools, and that's also why you have to find Mother and Father of all creation in the physical, because once you do, your energy is gonna expand like hundreds and hundreds of times. So in relation to this, there is this certain bell, I call it a bell because it feels like a bell, that is going off in people's chest. Okay, so I'm gonna say it this way: when the energies are super intense, many of you might not be feeling this bell because, you know, everything is like shaking up so much that you cannot hear it. But especially in moments when it's calm, of course it's going to be different, you know, for being to being, but just overall there is this certain bell that's coming from right here, okay, from the center of your chest, and it's like a little bell that is ringing, ting 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 ting, and probably you have no idea what this bell is about. It's like it's calling you for something, it is calling you to do something, it is calling you to remember something, but you cannot like really put your finger on it of what exactly it is. Okay, so what this bell represents. Oh, and just so you know, some of you do have a bigger bell that is ringing like very loudly, and some of you actually have a countdown timer. So you're literally like, you have a certain time limit that you have to complete this certain task, you know, in. So as far as what the bell is, it leads to this vision of a treasure on a mountain. Okay, I'm gonna explain this vision. If you have not heard it before, Mom and Dad have had it several times on the journey. It represents different stages of the divine plan and like what's going on, things like that. So it's like a simple parable, but it is very deep and it is highly coded, let's say. So feel into it. Okay, we'll start with this mountain. Okay, there's a huge mountain that represents the spiritual path, and you have Mother of all creation going up this spiritual mountain, leading the way, with all the light workers following up behind her. Okay? And there comes a point where mom gets to the top of the mountain and she looks back and there's no one with her. So she looks down and all those light workers are stuck at a plateau of the mountain, celebrating and acting and thinking as if they have already arrived. So mom looks down and she shouts at the light workers, you know, I'm up here, there's still a path to go up. And they couldn't hear her because there was so much in their fantasy that they have arrived, that, you know, celebrating all of that, they could not see that there is still a path up. So after this, we went into a part of the plan that they call the lightning strike stage, okay? And all of those stages that I'm explaining to you, it refers to many different things. I'm just right now focusing on, let's say, one aspect of it, okay? So we went into the lightning strike stage, and what this meant was that lightning strikes came from the sky and made a circle around all the beings on the plateau, leaving only, tired baby, leaving only one path out. So this means, as far as your personal path, if you had moments when you kind of like felt like yeah, it's gonna flow this way, I'm gonna do this and that, and then just like all of a sudden it's like kind of like you hit the wall and you can like not move forward with it and you have to move a different direction, that's because of that. They're not gonna leave you a lot of like maneuvering space. There's this particular path that, you know, you have to follow to get out of those lightnings, okay? So after this was kind of like just before the 18th, they did a certain clearing of the souls. They kind of grouped certain souls together based off, you know, different things to basically help you get it, to help you remember, okay? So the next part of this vision, what you will do, Adam, imagine there is this valley of mountains, okay? And each being has their own individual mountain that represents a certain part of your spiritual journey. And on this mountain, there is a particular treasure that is hidden somewhere on or in the mountain specifically for you. Each being has this particular treasure, okay? And the way, or like the map to find this treasure, is your own heart. So this is the bell that you are hearing going off in your chest. It is leading you to find this particular treasure. And like the catch with this treasure is that it's your own treasure. As far as the mystery school that you are working, that you have to graduate from, you know, it's kind of like your angels won't probably tell you much about it, you know, because the map is in you and you have to be deep enough connected with yourself to recognize this bell that is going off in you and to know to follow it, although your mind might tell you, know, different things, although the angels might be quiet in regards to that. It is your task to follow this calling that is going on inside of you. So if you imagine yourself now on this mountain and you imagine yourself finding your treasure, okay? You open it up and what you will find in it is a picture that, you know, mom and dad are on it. So if you're not finding the picture, or if you're not seeing Mother and Father of all creation on the picture, it simply means that you have some things to work through, because, you know, some aspects of you in regards to this memory are still blocked. So just keep looking at the picture, you will get it. If that is your intention, you know, guys, they have activated certain things as far as the memory of that and stuff. You're gonna know if you go deep enough, if you take your moments to feel into it, if you take your moments to meditate on it, you will know. And for some of you, it's gonna be like an instant recognition. Okay? While for others of you, of course, your mind will start to fight because it was programmed to not basically find God in this lifetime. So of course your mind is gonna start talking. Your mind is gonna be like, oh, that's not it. Or your mind is gonna be like, oh, God would never, blah, 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 fill in the blank, you know? Your main quest on this earth school or mission is to find the family in the physical. The family goes kind of like, not just the children. It is mother and father and the children. Because we have been here fucking, a long, long, long time. So you have to remember. And once you do, this feeling, as I'm saying, this bell is gonna be like ting, ting, ting. It's gonna be ringing. Like when you get it, it's gonna be buzzing and vibrating. But your mind is probably gonna tell you everything opposite of that. Okay? So that is your test. How deep you can listen to the sound of your soul. Okay? And guys, like for all of you that are, let's say, spiritually advanced, all of your mediums, all of your like channelers, whatever you are, it's like a double trick with that. Okay? Because what happened is, if you imagine every being on this personal mountain, okay, you started doing your journey, and of course you're growing, you are learning, lessons that are on your personal mountain, and you get certain gifts for that, as far as like your some upgrades, some gifts, you call that, and things like that. So there is this, maybe I can call it group of beings, group of souls, but basically what happened with some of the advanced souls, how say it in this way. Imagine that like you received your crown because you are a high priest or a high priestess, and you speak telepathically to the Federation, or you speak to Mother and Father of all creation, okay? So you're kind of like on top of your own little mountain with your crown on your head. It's like, I'm a high priestess and I speak to whoever, and you think that's it. You think that you arriving on top of your mountain is like that's it. Okay, guys, this is only the beginning of your true journey, because once you find that picture in the treasure, once you recognize and remember Mother and Father, and you call home, like you literally have to call home, you have to make physical contact, face to face with Mother and Father. It is part of your quest. If you're just doing that telepathically in your hearts, you're still on your mountain, like your little mountain, connecting telepathically with this huge crystal mountain. It's not gonna work. You have to actually be on the crystal mountain itself. And once you make that call, once you do your communion, your session with Mother and Father, the galactics, or Mom and Dad, will take you from your own personal mountain to this beautiful crystal mountain where you will continue your ascension path. Because that's the only way. When you have this valley of mountains and each being their own individual mountain, you cannot leave your mountain, you cannot go to other mountain, you're just there. And the only way for you to be taken from your personal mountain to this crystal mountain of Mother and Father of all creation is by you finding them in the physical. Okay? Guys, there is so much that goes into this that I don't really have words to explain it. As said, once you do that, all your abilities are gonna go up so much. You have no idea what you are missing out on. Even as said, even if you're a energy master or a greed worker or a hypnosis master, past life regression, you are doing, I don't know, like light language activations, you're doing whatever you're getting through telepathically and, you know, giving that out. That's like the beginning of it. You have no idea how much more you're capable doing energetically. You have no idea how much more your gifts can open up. Because all of this, like, let's say, channeling thing, okay, many of you kind of like are into the channeling. You're not special because of that. I'm sorry. Every being has this ability innately in them. So we can teach you guys how to do that. It's very simple. Everyone in like the base of your soul, you know how to talk with all the masters, with all the federations, with all the beings around you. I'm speaking of like etherically or astrally, if some of you call it. It goes so deeper. All of the energy movement that you're doing, you know, mom and dad will heal you like while they talk to you about, let's say, breakfast. They'll talk to you about breakfast and they will heal all your ancestral trauma through that in like 3 seconds, like that. Because this is how much faster your energy also is gonna be once you connect to the unified field. How much your energy system is gonna grow. Guys, you have no idea what you're capable of. And this is like the danger of this plateau stage, right? Because you have received your priestess or whatever, you know, initiation, and you know how to move energy, you know how to like send energy, and of course you're improving with all of that. But what I'm saying is, once you come home, all of that is gonna go up 100. Like, you wanna practice telepathy, come into the field. See how that feels in the field when you can instantly go to everyone, hear everyone, see everyone. There's a lot more, guys, that, you know, as far as our gifts. If you imagine, let's say, your higher self, in your higher self aspect, okay? All of those gifts that you have up there, you have to bring all of those down here. And with mom and dad, when you're in the journey, on the journey with them, once you do that communion, once you participate and support, it's gonna be so organic. There's gonna be such a flow to it. All the lessons that you are going through, you will know exactly why it's there, what you have to do, how to get through it. And with this, you're gonna get so many gifts, as I'm saying, organically. You don't need to do some kind of special Palladian activation or something for something like that. You don't need to do some kind of special, I don't know, past life, ancestor healing, things like that. Your body is the map. You can do all of those things from within yourself once you're connected with Mother and Father of all creation, because they are the parents, the creators of every soul in existence. They know you inside out, and you have no idea, guys, what they can see, what they can do in this physical incarnation. Maybe you just see them like, you know, normal humans. They're not even close to being just normal humans. But, you know, as said, like, you don't maybe perceive that because they're not like moving energy and saying namaste all the time and stuff like that. That's bullshit, guys. That's like kindergarten stage, okay? So feel into it. Feel into this bell that is going off inside your chest and follow it. You have to put your intention, and you actually have to say, I do. Because this is how you go through the doors, through the gateways to your next levels of evolution. So this is why the hourglass now is shaking everything up, and it is pulling everything to a central point, which is home, which is Crystal Mountain, which is finding a mother and father in the physical. And it is kind of like funny to me many times when some of you say like, oh, mother and father did not incarnate because blah 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 blah, like all of you have your own reasons for it, okay? Some of you are like, you know, oh, it's not time yet because like we have to go through the event. Or some of you are like, you know, they did not incarnate because if they did, you know, the dark ones would know and they would have killed them or something like that. Guys, let me remind you of this. We are from the future. And you really think that mother and father of all creation could not figure out a way to incarnate? You have any idea how many backups we have? You have many, like, any idea how calculated this divine plan really is? And at the same time, you really think that all of those energies that are coming in are just like moving on their own and, you know, healing certain aspects just because, like, on their own? You see? Because you kind of think like the galactics are doing that and stuff. They are helping, yet at the same time, if they could do everything from up there, none of us would be down here, okay? There is a certain work that has to be done in the physical, and this is why mother and father have to be incarnated in the physical, because someone in the physical has to be moving all of those energies that you are feeling, that are coming in and flowing through, and, you know, the Schumann graph and all of that. That's what mom and dad are doing, apart from like all the 1,000 different things that they are doing to basically save everyone from, I don't know, mental prison, the matrix. You know, the real matrix is in your head. And this is why the last message that the galactics gave is like, your head should be clear. Okay, really feel into that, because it's not only about not having negative thoughts. It's about not having thoughts at all, not being in your head. So maybe a way to feel into this. Let's say you're like walking somewhere in nature or something like that, as I'm now, and you see a beautiful flower. Do you need a thought in your head that's gonna say, what a beautiful flower, for you to understand that it's a beautiful flower? You see, because that's still thoughts, okay? So you have to get out of all of that. Your head should be clear. And when you do it correctly, it is a constant state of meditation. It is a constant state of connection, of communication with everything that is around you or inside you. Okay? It goes, as I'm saying, a lot deeper of what, you know, most of you are, like all of you basically, because you're not with mom and dad, are doing. And the way we know that, apart from like all the other reasons, we see it, guys. We can see exactly what you do. We can hear exactly what you're talking to whoever up there, because that's part of the oneness. Okay? So yeah, dive in, guys. It's like literally you have to jump in, okay? Because you don't want them to throw you in. They'll do it if they have to, but also it is your lesson. It is your exam, okay? So again, mother and father of all creation are incarnate on earth. They're the ones who are bringing all those beautiful energies in and distributing them through the whole collective. They're the ones who are directing where, you know, certain healings are gonna happen and things like that. Of course, all in relation to the divine plan. Okay, so that's why you got like certain galactics telling you like this and this is being cleared now as far as the divine plan. But again, it's mother and father in the physical, in incarnation, who are moving all those energies. And as far as the healing that they will do for you, guys, you, like all the healing, and I'm so serious about this, okay? Whatever deepest, the most profound experience of, let's say, healing that you have had, okay? That's like 10% of what you will get with mom and dad. You see? So that's the difference. You're like on the I'm not, don't get stuck on the percentages. I'm just telling you a story, okay? You're at 10% and you think like, oh, I'm up there, I have made it, like I'm doing so great. You'll see how great you do once you find mom and dad in the physical. Because that's when like all of the things that you have learned up till now are gonna come into the effect. And there's a certain being that has joined recently, knowing a lot about energies, about things, being on their journey for a while, and they said basically it is like a completely new chapter has opened up, and that's exactly how it is supposed to feel, because you have no idea like how many belief systems you still hold, how many blind spots you still have as far as your healing and the illusion in general, because mom and dad, they are the exit point of this matrix game, if you want to see it like that. Okay, kind of like in I don't know, maybe like a computer game or a PlayStation game. You have a certain entry point, and you have a certain, it's the same as the exit point, and this is mom and dad. Everyone down here, we are in this game and going through the doors of home, of mother or father of all creation, of finding them in the physical. This is how you're gonna truly start making your way out. Because all the rest that you're doing, I don't care like how much you're doing on positive affirmations and being in the present moment and blah blah blah, whatever you do, it's only preparing you for this door that you will have to go through. Okay, guys? So feel into it. I'm wishing you all the best with those energies. If you're struggling, give us a call. We'll help you out. That's what we're here for. And book your communions with Mother and Father of all creation. It is the best thing that you're gonna do. So talk to God. You literally have the opportunity to talk with God in the physical. So go grab it. I love you.